We're in time. We're punctual. And Asian.CS can start between IMBA.SAS and Roar. Right now, fighting Group B for another 3 points. Either way, IMBA.SAS and Roar, who will pick up that victory? As we first of all got to talk about the map picks we're having ourselves right here. Because, to be very fair, Roar picked Inferno, and I have a major problem with Roar picking Inferno, and I'm explaining you why. Roar and Inferno is a combination that lives off major chokes. And you might say, that's not very nice to say, and I actually agree with you that it's not very nice to say, but every time they have played this map, it was always going either a major loss or overtime. A major loss, something like that, also minor losses there, but it was never like where we see Raw really dominating this map. Only once against Fierce Tigers, and then a few weeks back against Beyond, as well as New Life. But regarding the teams that have played right now in this qualifier, didn't go so well. That's kind of unfortunate. As it goes, there's going to be the aggression towards the A site. And Xenox as well, Wind as well as Vadim. Trying to now retake this will be a little bit tough with just 41 as well as 14 HP. And there it goes with one, only Jaff alive. And he finds himself one. Does Jaff find himself the second? Is the question with the clock in hand. Plays left and right, needs to find it somehow. And a lot of time he has wasted, and I'm not quite sure if Wind is able to retrieve that certain defuse. 5 more seconds, this thing ticks away. He doesn't make it in time. Unbelievable! IMBA finding themselves the first. And as it goes so far, we're seeing IMBA.SAS trying to benefit from much as possible. As it goes, 5466, a name I really love. Yes, I'm back. Thank you very much, Luke Vader. Nice to have you back as well. First of all, though, and I personally feel like with that patience, you sometimes get overrun easier. Early running into CZs is also not comfortable. A banana control is something I would really admire to get onto the B site. But first of all, 39 seconds left on the clock. And IMBA with the slow approach, will they be caught out in the open or not? Because Roar have placed 4 players around the A site, where the focus of IMBA.SAS is actually. So as it goes, Fjorn finds one, Dan. There it goes even further, and so in the end, This is incredible. 14 seconds. The bomb has to be picked up. There is a frag happening. Now from behind, the ZZ comes, picks up the first, and now the time is running away for XYG, and he does it! Back and forth, back at it. One player surviving on the terrorist site. Couldn't have started off any tighter. It couldn't have started off any tighter. So, we're going to see if that scout is going to make any difference right now. Danking already ate a shot there, but much more at the moment. Everyone's more habit. I mean, you have the upper hand, basically. We're waiting it out till the aggression comes. Banana's gonna be the rotation being enforced while 5466 tries to sell a fake. That's fascinating. Because what we're seeing right now is Fett falling in for it in the end. Only Vadim alive. He finds himself another shot. Vadim there with a double and man disadvantage onto Imba. Bomb has to be planted for construction. We see Fett 9 coming in. And so Danking heats up a shot, but what was that nasty flick there onto Fjorn? If he continues to frag like this, we might have ourselves a successful round. Danking now taking out a single nade that is onto SPTDD, where he finds himself not that frag. Abysmal. Unfortunately, I have to say it like this. This is the crazy back and forth. I don't always believe what I'm seeing. And as it goes, just waiting it right now out. Roar is able to though finish their map successfully or not, because so far to give it just that amount of points, like the beneficial points, like the well done points, the stars. Back at the driving school of SpongeBob, where he, for example, received stars for good behavior, where he was the #1 student. IMBA's effort, you gonna receive a star for that or not? That's the question. So there it goes though, Roar finding a beautiful triple there towards the middle. 5466 at least takes out Fjorn. The bomb plants. It should be quite impossible right there. It's XPG down to 0 in the end. And so, Roar Esports, do they deliver us actually those victories? I mean, we talked about it previously, right? Just 4 rounds ago I've mentioned most of the time those guys have played this map and went to a quite tight victory or loss, and then there were also a few visible losses. It goes deep, puts Dan King down to 23, makes him an easy target there for the Roar Esports site. But so far, neither of the teams took real control over Inferno. IMBA trying to play it patient, mostly focusing on mid to have the rotation option towards B. Banana in the end, though we have Win standing fairly close. That's not relevant at this moment. Adam hits an 8 perfectly onto SPTDD, makes him a quite easy target. The right time, he needs to be there on the IMBA site. They want to find those frags. What I find kind of sad, though, well, it's XYG only having the pistol. A little bit of noise. Good legitimate way to force out players. But they now establish presence towards the A side to the right corner. They check and find one. Now make the run. You got yourself the bomb and a good opening on the site. Could be SPTDD being a little bit too greedy here, and Dan King, he's not going to find himself anything, so that bomb goes down. Finding themselves fed in the end is also a very, very crucial part, but Dan King, you need to make a move, because your teammates are just waiting for you, that you finally assist. There's nothing there, and I'm not quite sure why Dan King stays so long on the side of A. There from behind, tanking even then gets killed. Def on his own finds 128 HP onto Vadim, and he sees a bit of the shoulder and takes him out in the end. Kind of disappointed, but also on the other hand, kind of surprised how Roar just gave away that round, because first of all, Dan King right there didn't do the best performance with his kind of play. That was first of all kind of shocking, but on the other hand, the individual performance was a little bit lacking there. And with an op who already found the frag, as well as an M4 on the Roar Esports site, could become fairly easy. Even for the moment, it's right now trying to get a lot of information towards Banana. He doesn't see anything there, so 4-man stack coming in from Roar Esports towards the side of A. Vadim moving already in the connecting piece between the A side as well as the CT spawn, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Now it's going to be Ethan gaining a lot of information, and he needs to rotate away as fast as he can. He does so. And the support from Wind is coming. He's the guy with lowest HP though. On the side of Roar, makes his life not the easiest. While Stan King, we got ourselves once more lurking around, but not finding a frag, not getting any attention. And so, as now the quick rotation comes in, the players, that is a problem. Falling for this or not, Fed is going to be the only defender there. He needs to find himself Dan King, he doesn't do so. That bomb goes down. Now we got ourselves a 3 versus 2, and a way too aggressive one here. And then AWP striking, Jeff has to find himself those free. As the CTs are approaching the site slowly but steady, with especially Vadim to take a look out for. He might have to flick on the player, and he does. 4K, no armor, op in use. Op works out.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
So we got ourselves that round number 6 going in favor of 4. Back and forth at it again. And as it goes, IMBA.SAS, the question with the pistol directly directed towards Carpet. The question is, can he find a bit more? Fjorn only with a triple, you could say. Should have too much problem here to allow Fed to get another one and another one. So a 4-3 easily happening. Roar Esports taking the lead. Question is, how much further can they go? As we have that run number 8, the back and forth is really kind of astonishing. 2, 2, 1, 2. This is far away from satisfying from each of the sides because they really can't maintain control, really can't keep up any economy. As they continuously have to buy in and then also lose rounds, so back to pistols. That doesn't work out, then it goes further and further. It's an entire limbo they're falling into. As we're down to 60 seconds. Oh, perfect timing for wins. Patience is there. This patience gets rewarded, but only with 1 frag, unfortunate for him. It's back towards Banana. We get ourselves a Vadim. Not sure how expected he is. There comes now the first frag from Vadim. Oh, wind. Nearly the right timing. He hits, but AWP seems to be majorly successful as Vadim hides himself in the corner. With 4 HP, he somehow survives and defends the B site nearly on his own. Five to 3. The CTs could extend to the 6th one and so establish major control finally, and after such a long time. It would be quite necessary if you ask me. It's your map pick, you're on the CT site, the perfect timing actually. As those P250 shots are being heard, the nade drops deep here from Fed. The Dauphin's first was actually his teammate dropping the bomb, doesn't even matter. Op being picked up, 2 frags coming in, SPDV dies in the process due to the flames. Nice try with that AWP, but then getting denied. M4 picked up, and XYG doesn't seem to have too many options right here to find himself a frag or 2. Looking in the wrong direction, possibly. Isn't the case, but Wayne finds him either way. CT economy starting to blossom, starting to shine, whilst on the other hand, IMBA.SAS Biden matters a lot. If they're losing this, economically due to a big losing bonus, should be looking okay, but far away from perfect. Wynn's going aggressive together with his teammate down Banana. This is major information gain. Wynn should now instantly try to rotate, or at least one of them, back on the A site. They push him up there. Now he gains a good bit of information. Can go down again, and from then on, rotate back on the B side, fall back in case any aggression comes towards him. 5466 finds one. Fet9 back on the site. Can do it together with Fjorn, but no chance to actually find any control towards the A site. Roar. Burning the last one away. Vadim does so, and that means 7-3, and the CTs extending their lead, whilst we see IMBA falling a little bit short economically. As we're going, Vadim right now, his AWP aim is quite decent into it. XYG. Oh, no chance. The AWP finally gets taken out, and Jeff has a good positioning with that AWP. But in the end, it's the night. There it goes, XYG. After the frag onto Danking, he finds himself the frag onto Vadim. Yes, they're trading, but not really finding themselves much. It seems like that CT control has finally been established. Because now 5466 as well as Jeff should pretty much running out of options at that point in time. Not too much to go. Jeff, as he is on his own, has 36 seconds left to find two. Gets denied. 9-3. They continuously can by losing bonus on the max. Vadim. His AWP is right now consistent. He's doing, besides that 19-7 scoreline, not those crazy frags, very consistent, very relevant frags. And in total, that is something I would call fairly good and astonishing on the one hand, but also very crucial and important to hold a decent, well, to get a decent kind of control. As we're seeing it, SPDDD to find. Then Vadim. I just really gave him a compliment for consistent and good plays, and then he does that to me. What shall I say? Pause set. Tactical timeout coming in. It's about time to do so. Spam this... What is this? Spam this kipper. It's a cat. To help IMBA. Okay, I get that. I think I get the joke, but I'm not quite sure if I do. As the time is ticking away, our hot round number 14 will start right now. The AKs and the AWP on the IMBA.SAS side. The question we gotta ask ourselves, can he make anything work with that? Are they able to figure success out with something like this or not? There it comes, Jeff. There finds Ethan. Talking about just that possible success. As now Wind puts aggress, he finds himself one that was perfectly timed. He doesn't even care about the Molotov, just pushes through. And the problem is the wallbangs are coming in. And those wallbangs can get you down to 22 HP. That goes with Wind. The question is though, where will IMBA set their focus? Will it be either outside of B, which seems to be the case right now, or will they do one of those late rotations they've already done? The problem I'm seeing right now, there's still a smoke in the hands of IMBA. The 22 HP Wind is not really the best tool to defend the B side properly. And as we're talking about it, there it comes, smoke. Gonna pop at him. Gonna find him first, but now he's fully blind. Finds a second. Oh, Wind, a little bit more patience, but there, sorry, he got himself XYG, taking that back. Fed as well as Fjord now need to do it. Both have a kit, smoke, flashbang. And as both are trying to come in from two sides, they might have a great approach to this. Very much it is just down how well they coordinate. Because what's happening right now, if Fed is actually getting a little bit of the attention of the players, he can allow Fjord to possibly go through without being called out. Fed, now known, gets SPDDD, but Dan King does the triple. And that was, in my opinion, not so well thought through. Because if you announce one, the other one has advantage to possibly pass in case you can distract the players. I mean, that you need to come from any of those sides anyway is kind of obvious. And that they leave out bananas expected. So, with that being said, maybe I'm also totally wrong. We're never gonna know round number 15 can Roar bring though the 11th one on the board or not. Vadim goes aggro, and Vadim uses the shots. That is very crucial. And the B side open was actually not Vadim, excuse me, it was either Ethan or Wind, my bad. Too much expected Vadim to be the opera here, but 5-4-6-6, got a good bunch of ground. Fed. Get his head ripped off. So 10-5 is pretty much set. Ten to 5, Roar on the T site. Can they finish it off on their own map pick? Fairly easy, fairly early. Or will it rather be IMBA.SAS getting themselves it's a difficult one. Patience on the Roar site. A side is though their dedication as well as their destination. There, they find themselves the first IMBA. It's a good job with 5-4-6-6 getting even further. Like I said, aggression doesn't seem to work out in the end. Patience on that trigger, but they're all staying up in the apartments. Interestingly enough, smoke's gonna pop, not allowing them to move any further. Oh, and they're moving over to B. Alright, that's nice to see. Seems like they fought through that a second or two. On the other side, who also fought it through was SPTDD. Possibly they watched one or the other demo, because usually you don't read that easily. There comes the Fet 9 with one. Has to find 3 more. Has a smoke on himself. Not many safe plant options he has. And in the smoke he goes. Fakes it out. Not quite sure if that is the best of an idea, because now plant would help your team out economically so much. XYG though gets in there through the smoke. 10-6 it is. To be very fair and honest, that was once more kinda debatable. But they have their own executions, and you have to say, IMBA.SAS reacted properly to it. And as it goes, just waiting it out right now that IMBA.SAS gets there on to those double digits, because unfortunately Roar has a bit of a struggle very often with such rounds, with such situations to get back into it. The question is, can they now prevail somehow with those pistols, or would be the economic advantage making it work? Because we're seeing right now 10-6 it will be. Not quite sure how much Roar will advance. Patience is crucial right now for Roar. Playing it out towards the B site would be kind of advantageous at that point in time. Talking about him. Adam finds himself 4-5-6-6, rotates back from the CT spawn. The time is not too great. And SPTDD, smartest thing he can do right now, and that is what he does. Hold yourself as close as possible to that goddamn site, because otherwise you might be exposed and easily found by any of them. There it goes, SPDD taken down, bomb will be planted. And so Roar can benefit from that, at least economically. If they'll find the round, hard to really consider that to be happening. Batting really wide peak instead of holding him back to the site. Now he has the UMP in hand. Reloading would also be a legitimate option if you ask me, but rather keeps himself silent. Don't want to be exposed. Do Adam and Co make it? First one to come, and it works out in the end. Roar Esports with the right approach to the B site, and that very late, very dangerously, but very successful. And a lot of question marks above the heads of IMBA, like how the hell did that now happen? How could we lose this? But as you see, sometimes that just happens. Right now, just waiting for Roar somehow gain the control, because the problem is, to be very fair, if IMBA wins this round, Roar will be economically shattered. If Roar right now wins this round, they will be on the 12th, IMBA will be economically shattered, and they can win their own map pick fairly fast. They just need that focus. They just need the right approach to this. Can they do that is the question. Will the CZ be more successful? And the actual AKs, UMPs, and the rest of the rifles. Kind of shocking if that would be the case. Vadim to get away with Wind and Co. Finding the frags they need, so the A side is open up. And now you can try and dare it. Do 5-5, 5-4-6-6, as well as SPTDD. The worst two names to actually pronounce. Be able to find a little more or not. Step up a notch with the pistols. Do they make it or not?
Bomb has been planted.
Finding that one, at least a UMP. SPD for 6, they're trying. Oh, there's the Mech 10. It would be a very successful one if that at least gets a few more kills because of the money that would have been established to that. But nope, that's not going to be the case. Both weapons can be saved. Which is in the end only a 5-7 as well as that UMP, but the question is, will that work out in the end or not? Can they at least find one or two frags and benefit from that and then finding more guns, etc., etc., the entire process? I'm not quite sure if that will be the case, to be very fair. As those shots have been hurt, Wind makes a bit of noise towards Banana. IMBA.SAS. Pretty much nothing on the boards will probably allow Roar to get number 13. It comes down to Wind as well as Vadim. As the only real threat, weaponry-wise, is back on the B side with that UMP. 5-7 can also be a lethal tool. 20 shots, close range. You know how that can work out. Therefore, after they've lost already Fjorn somehow, I did even miss that. Now need to focus properly on that site. It would be a shame for Roar if they're losing this, as they would give away a good opportunity to extend their lead. A smoke towards CT. Another one, if you now go aggressive 5-4-4-6, goddammit, those names. Another one to find. SPTD on one. He shoots actually even down to just low HP. And those circumstances, that initial situation after the bomb plant is far away from good from Roar Esports. As though there's no kit and no armor on the last individuals, it seems to be Fed pretty much clearing it out, showing us what he's made of. Flashbang to pop. One to fall. That's all I can say about it. Imba done it well. And once more questionable from Roar. The funny story about all of this that didn't 100% make sense to me there is I'm going to explain you my point of view if you like to listen to it. When you're sitting here alone and you see your teammate dying, 3 players probably having no kit due to an actual eco are approaching your site. You see the bomb is ticking away and ticking away. Peep, 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 peep. And instead of waiting it out until you hear the sound of defusing, you rather go for an aggression. So you, on purpose basically, gift Imba time when you have 3 opponents that could come from everywhere. Hiding behind here is probably the best option until there you hear the click sound. Just from my point of view, that situation would have been probably the best, but I could be also horribly wrong, because finding 3 there must be a miracle you then need to perform. so I'm not quite sure if I muted myself while I was actually talking about my tactical intelligence. My wannabe in tactical intelligence. Tanking as well as XYG. They're making it looking quite well. And Fjorn on his own. Not the best of a play there. Can't connect on 2-1. Danking has a kit. He's down to 10 HP. Danking probably expecting this. He sees him in the end. No chance. Fjorn. He's the one to take him out. 13-7 it goes. The CT economy pretty much shattered on the ground if in case they're losing this, so they gotta make it work. This is the one time where IMBA has to go on 100% to stay alive in this game. Roar have picked this map. Roar could finish it off fairly easy. Do they do so is the other question, because in case they do, 14-7, IMBA.SAS and barely nothing. There it goes. One frag coming in. Right there. Oh, Vadim, way too aggressive in this. Then gets punished for it. 3 poor players are alive, and this is incredible. Have a pistol for IMBA makes it work so well. SPDDD getting himself the double they should have never received. And that's a bit abysmal, you have to say, unfortunately.
Bomb has been planted.
There it goes. Full aggression coming in from Win. The jump makes it work. Switches over to the M4 in time. It seems to rather run away or not. That's the question right now about it. Because the one defuse is already in. He finds himself the first. And he goes for the second. 5-4-6-6 somehow survives that. But the bullets that you have pumped into him are not enough. And there's not going to be a defuse happening. Or does he? He has the kid on his back. Does he now make the defuse? He hunts down Wind. And he could make it possible. This is going to be IMBA picking it up. What is this madness? 0.3 seconds, 5-4-6-6 decides right and goes for the bomb in the end. I cannot believe what I have just witnessed. That's Roar. There was no more necessary aggression left. He didn't hear the tick sound. Oh, and that is now, instead of a 14-7, which could have been highly possible, a Roar breaking down. Got himself a kill, but that one kill, is it enough? That's the question, because the A site is going to be swarmed right now. ZZs, UMPs, AKs, all moving there onto the site. There it goes. Got him. doesn't get frag in the end. That USPS gets somehow fed 9. Bomb's going to be planted. And Ethan, together with his teammate who now picked up an AWP, somehow have to defend that bomb site from all the aggressors coming in. And towards the library, we got ourselves an SPTDD. He might find the frag or two. As now Wind is a little bit distracted by everything. XYGG can move through. 5-4-6. Yeah, not too many chances. He gets taken out, but the rest of the team does the job. CTs somehow stay alive here.
Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorists win.
And as Roar, I mean, this is what I talked about previously. This is exactly what I meant. They somehow can't really figure a way to secure what actually should be theirs the entire time. For real, I would usually expect a hell lot more. And as it goes, we're just waiting and waiting and waiting until this ends, because I have a little bit of a problem with all of this, and I explain you why. Roar Esports could have done that very earlier, way much earlier. There were many situations where they could have picked up the victory. I mean, there was a good start to them, and take a look at the scoreline. But in the end, it feels like there could have been way more happening. So we're having this all right now. IMBA.SAS. How much will they be able to do? "40 seconds, how do they read this?" Because the CTs, they have a major advantage in this. There's not much they need to do. As it goes, that is the A side being hit. Dan King together with Jeff. The question is, how much can they do about it? As now Dan King gets run over. Still going to drop down. 10 more seconds to do so. Finally happened. SPTDD and Co. How much can they find? Kid is on 2. That defuse has to happen soon, but SPTDD on his own finds 1. Has to somehow make a move on the site, but as we see, the CT economy is fairly low. Their reset is going to be fairly big. 14-9, and Roar, from now on, 2 rounds away of finishing this off in favor of them. As no one survives. Seeing a 14-9 happening. That 14-9 brings us the worst of IMBA.SAS. They go for the eco, it seems to be. Do they really do so? No, they buy up right now. Now they buy up. Late decision, very uncertain. And as they are aware how much they have done so far with those CZs, they're still going to continue to play with those. The nade goes deep. The nade does its damage quite fairly well. And they're regressing through. And that cannot be happening. It does not happen. 5-4-6-6 as well as SPTDD. Both tried to aggress it late. Both got denied. And IMBA With all the money invested, it needs to try to go for it. I mean, ZZs are nice tools, but do you really want to stay with this? Is the question, because they technically could buy up the UMP in the next one. Seems like they'd rather go for that than the aggression. Also an understandable move. There it goes, Jeff with one. Bjorn taken out. That is his teammate though falling, and he's pretty expected. We're staying in the same corner. Not much more happening right now. One falling, XYG gets himself the frag on the fat though. All the weaponry, all the armory. Still, Tryhard is a good guy, always coming around. But right now, all those ZZs, the 5.7s, anything else on the boards. How far will this go? Because Wind, he should have heard those steps very close by. ZZs find the first, and there even the second. Ah, this is not nice to watch. AK picked here up by 5466. As Roar somehow decide to go aggressive against the Zets once more, and that individually instead of a unit, they've lost 2. IMBA does it right, IMBA waits it out. The way CTs should do it, by the way, very often in many cases. Jeff now goes for the smoke. The B-side could be taken fairly easy. The nade hops in front of the face of the CT. Rotation comes back. And IMBA does not get shaky 1 second. Smoke pops. Nobody rotating yet. They're taking their time. They fake this out as much as they can. The problem is, there's not much time for it left this round. I'm quite fairly sure, unfortunately. If you're a fan of Rory Sports, you're not going to be happy with this. Flashbang pops. Back on the side, there's one. Back towards library is another. And Vadim, he whiffs the shots. He whiffs that one as well. And he whiffs that one as well. What was this from Roar? And they should have learned something throughout the entire time by now. Individual aggression against the Zeds never worked for Roar. They're somehow extremely fairly weak against pistols. They cannot expect the aggression that they're usually bringing through. And now we're having ourselves a round that should Roar actually being taken. It now enforces IMBA.SAS to pick up a way better bit of armory, weaponry, things like that. Can though Roar finish it off right now is the question. Is the story to be told successful for the Russian-Chinese mix, or will SPTDD first of all find himself Vadim? Seems to be the case. Vadim taken out. Not a single bullet he has dealt onto SPTDD. And those aggressions are just weird. You have to say it. They're not aggressing as a unit. Refract opportunities are not somehow taken. And that's something that honestly confuses me massively. This is just something that, in my opinion, if you're not an insane fragger, right? If you're not a simple, if you're not a Nico, if there's nothing according those lines, why do you continuously aggress the same kind of pattern one by one? Maybe one of you, the chat, has a better idea than I have, but what personally doesn't make sense to me is instead of rotating around it like a unit to assist your teammate, for example, or to make it work that 2 players are aggressing one so nobody even falls, why do they go one by one without utility, though they have it on their belt, and without any coordinated aggression? This is something that is extremely confusing to me. As the ZZs are getting partially denied here by Danking. We're gonna see that not being stopped. The AWP does its job. Now, though, the 9mm are coming in. No scope? Not gonna happen. 15-12. Socks Are Good to Eat is a great name, by the way. Love that one. Giving you a thumbs up for that name. The question is, will it be a thumbs up for Roar right now? The Mollo, that will pop deep. Danking doesn't see a thing, though. Danking and Co. The question is, can they find themselves something or not? Because first of all, SPTDD, in the process of jumping, got hit there. The smoke, not much happening. Vadim and Co. They try to keep the presence totally towards Banana. There comes the first. I think Xenos, excuse me, Fjorn got somehow hit for any of those walls, but they're still taking their time. No major aggression. Patience is 100% on the board. Roar. They're seemingly shaky plays towards the end. Allow IMBA to take to overtime possibly soon. There it goes. Danking find the first. Vadim taken out. As it goes. Oh, beautifully done. Danking. There gets found. The B side is being taken, but a good aggression. More likely a good defense rotation coming in here from IMBA.SAS. So the CTs, all the time and all the utility left, free kits, it could work out quite well. So no one is now checking onto Jaff. He gets himself a double. And there in the end, Fet9 is finishing it off, 16-12. That was once more towards the end, a little bit tighter than they would have liked to. But War, they bring it home. Next up, we got ourselves Overpass. Till then, we're taking a little break. And we'll just be right back for Roar Esports versus IMBA on their second map pick.
LootBet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join LootBet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.